described as the most dangerous criminal you've never heard of. For years he operated in the shadows, constructing a vast criminal empire that spanned continents and evaded justice. His eventual conviction was hailed by the UK's National Crime Agency as one of their most significant achievements, even though his trial took place outside the UK. Welcome back to Crime Chronicles. Stay tuned as we get answers to the following questions. Who was Robert Dors, and how did he rise to such power? And most importantly, what finally brought him down? Dors was a notorious figure in the British underworld, the head of a global organised crime syndicate, and a significant player in the international drug trade. His influence spread across Europe, making him one of the most feared and influential criminals of his time. So how exactly did law enforcement catch up with him after years of pursuing his elusive network? Robert Dors, along with his brother John Dors, led the Dors Cartel, an organised crime group based in Mansfield and Sutton-in-Ashfield, Nottinghamshire, England. From the early 1990s until 2005, they built a multi-million-pound drugs empire, initially operating from a small house in Sutton-in-Ashfield. John Dors lived a double life, claiming state benefits as an unemployed man, while managing the cartel's operations. Meanwhile, Robert Dors, who was known for his violent temper, relocated to Spain in 2002 to oversee international drug shipments. The Dors cartel specialized in distributing various narcotics, including cannabis resin, cocaine, amphetamines, and heroin. While Robert handled overseas shipments from Spain, John and the rest of the cartel managed wholesale deliveries across the UK, sourcing drugs from Liverpool and Runcorn. For years, the cartel operated almost undetected. However, in 2001, Nottinghamshire Police, with the support of the National Crime Squad and Customs Investigation, launched Operation Normality. As investigations progressed, Operation Starburst was initiated in 2003, uncovering the full extent of the Dors cartel. The group's structure was organised around three key players: Robert, John, and Gary Hardy, a Mansfield man with ties to a Midlands Hells Angels chapter. By the early 2000s, the Dors cartel was importing such vast quantities of drugs that they began burying excess stock in coded woodland locations. Investigators identified links between their operations and major drug shipments from Spain, Holland, and Belgium. Financial analysis revealed that over £8.5 million flowed through their network between 2002 and 2003. Additionally, gang members were frequently tracked on flights between Malaga and Amsterdam. The cartel's downfall began in late 2003, when John Dors was arrested after returning to the UK to manage operations more directly. Over a 9-week trial, the scale of the organisation was laid bare, with evidence showing the cartel generated over £1 million a month from drug trafficking. John Dors received a 24-year prison sentence, and their father, Arthur Dors, was jailed for 8 years. Meanwhile, Robert Dors, who had moved between Spain and Dubai, remained elusive. In 2007, Robert Dors was arrested in Dubai after Spanish authorities intercepted a shipment of cocaine worth over £4 million near Madrid. Despite the absence of a formal extradition treaty, he was eventually extradited to Spain. After serving time for money laundering, he was released on bail in 2011, avoiding the fate that had befallen his brother and father. Dors then disappeared, using this opportunity to rebuild his empire. When the National Crime Agency was established in 2013, they revisited the Robert Dors case, recognizing the global nature of his criminal activities. Dors had shifted his focus from local operations to leading an international drug trafficking network. Collaborating with Spanish authorities and officials from Colombia, Ecuador, and Venezuela, the NCA coordinated efforts with agencies across Europe, including France, Italy, and the Netherlands. Dors' operation was sophisticated and far-reaching. It relied on corrupt officials worldwide and encrypted communications methods, making it challenging to penetrate his network. However, in 2013, a breakthrough came when the NCA undercover agents infiltrated Dors' organization. Intelligence revealed ties to Venezuela's Cartel of the Suns, a network of drug traffickers embedded within the military. This tip-off initiated a covert operation in collaboration with French authorities. In September of 2013, a routine Air France flight arrived in Paris, carrying 32 suitcases filled with 1.3 tons of cocaine. French agents intercepted the shipment and tracked it to a warehouse for distribution. The drugs were intended to be split into 4 consignments and distributed across Europe, including the UK. In one instance, a truck carrying 300 kilograms of cocaine was intercepted in Germany, leading to the arrest of Camorra mafia members who had purchased the drugs from Dors' network. The seizure highlighted Dors' logistical control over the European cocaine trade. The French operation also triggered arrests in Venezuela, exposing significant corruption at the airport where the cocaine originated. However, Robert Dors remained free. The NCA spent 2 years meticulously piecing together the structure of his network and tracking his movements. In 2015, Spanish authorities located Dors at a luxury hotel in Madrid. The Guardia Civil had been monitoring his communications, but his use of advanced encryption forced them to rely on physical surveillance. During a meeting with 2 associates, a Colombian and a Venezuelan, Dors made a critical mistake. Boasting about the Paris cocaine seizure, he described it as the biggest job his crew had ever completed. This recorded conversation provided investigators with invaluable evidence. Dors' arrest was treated with the utmost seriousness by Spanish authorities. A heavily armed team raided his villa in Ben El Medina and another estate nearby. Dors was extradited to France, where he faced trial, but proceedings were delayed due to the 2015 Paris terrorist attacks. In court, Dors attempted to undermine the case by presenting forged documents claiming the recordings were inadmissible. However, his claims were dismissed. The audio recording, coupled with years of intelligence gathering, sealed his fate. In December of 2018, Robert Dors was sentenced to 22 years in prison. 2 other Britons involved in his network also received prison sentences, while 3 Italians were also convicted. Robert Dors' conviction marked the end of one of Europe's most notorious criminal empires. His network, which spanned continents, demonstrated the global nature of organized crime and the challenges faced by law enforcement. Despite his imprisonment, Dors has maintained his innocence, even launching a blog to protest his conviction. Yet, the evidence speaks volumes, illustrating the scale and sophistication of his criminal operations. Whether this chapter truly marks the end of Dors' criminal career remains to be seen. Thank you for joining us today on Crime Chronicles. Please like, subscribe, and share the channel with your friends.